a number of things, most everything. But also learning about the nature of the visas, and I've said here regularly, many people watching around the world might not know, is that we don't give details about what our methods are regarding visas. Of course, everyone is vetted. I think if you've gone through the process, it's about filing for a visa, and then you have to have a meeting. And you do it in your home country, your consulate, your embassy, and that's the process. So there is a vetting, there always has been. What we don't discuss, again, because of privacy issues, but also because it's different for each person, that there are a series of dynamics that can be applied, questions that can be asked, issues looked at, and we use every tool that we have to vet and to make sure we know who's coming in. In this particular case, the United States is putting America first by beginning to revoke visas of Chinese students as warranted, including those with connections to the Chinese Communist Party, as you mentioned, Matt, or studying in critical fields, and enhancing scrutiny of visas for all Chinese nationals, including Hong Kong passport holders. I will not be getting into the details, not only of what the details are regarding the scrutiny and the methods regarding the visa itself, but also when it comes to critical fields. I was rather pleased, having seen very often announcements that don't really give any information, and there's reasons for that, for national security, because there's negotiations, it's diplomatic, et cetera, or giving away the nature of how we choose to do things might give up our hand and make certain things less effective. In this case, when we think of critical fields, which is obviously a very specific phrase, we think about national security, the nature of how we keep America safe and secure and more prosperous. And it is important to have, I think, a broad base, because that could mean something different to many people. It could mean many things. And this is going to be up to the people making the decisions. And I think that that's in the framework of what we've discussed regarding the visa actions as well, when it comes to keeping America safe. The United States, I further can say here, will not tolerate the CCP's exploitation of U.S. universities or theft of U.S. research, intellectual property, or technologies to grow its military power, conduct intelligence collection, or repress voices of opposition. The Trump administration is focused on protecting our nation and our citizens by upholding our national security and public safety through our visa process, obviously very openly and transparently applied by Secretary Marco Rubio. Every visa adjudication is a national security decision. Every single one of them. Every prospective traveler to the United States undergoes interagency security vetting, prohibiting entry to the United States by those who might pose a threat to U.S. national security or public safety is key to protecting U.S. citizens at home. So we've experienced this through these last several weeks. It is something that is at the heart and that really at the front line of protecting the country, on protecting our nation and our citizens by upholding the highest standards of national security and public safety through the visa process specifically. Every adjudication, as I noted to you, is a national security decision, and a visa, as a reminder, is not a privilege. It's a privilege, it's not a right, it's not a birthright, it's not something that you're owed, no matter where you come from. Every prospective traveler to the United States undergoes interagency security vetting, and this is important with these conversations because it seems like only certain groups are facing vetting with visas. Every single person does. So I would say that, yes, you're going to get more information, and this is, as a result, not an interminable kind of end. There is an end point, and it should be rather quick, as consulates and embassies make adjustments when it comes to how they handle visas.
Can we expect the appointments to open?
Well, one thing I can tell you, a few things I can say is people can still make their application, do their regular steps, but it's a two-step process, right? You apply, and then you have to get an appointment to meet with people, to talk with them. Unlike often with the passport or something, there's a very specific process. So right now, there might be some delay, and what I'm told to encourage people to do is to regularly check to see when those spaces open. So as opposed to, let me just say, I would not be recommending that if this was going to be weeks or months. So if you've applied for a visa and you want to, please do. Then if you're not getting an appointment, just there's this online system. You continually recheck to see when those spots might open. I can't tell you immediately after some, indetermined moment of an action. That off now, but what I can say clearly with all of the news over the last 48 hours is that the visa process is a key component of keeping the country safe. It is not targeted at certain only specific individuals. This is an overarching national security action, and we are acting quickly. Obviously, we're a nation that loves people coming here the legal way, and we want to help facilitate that, but not at our own risk. I think everyone who's here on a visa has to recognize, certainly is what they've seen over the last few months, that America takes their visa seriously, that vetting is not a one-time process, it's continuing. And that if things happen, if you get arrested, if there's some kind of an issue, it's probably going to be seen at some point. But I do think that with this particular dynamic, it's clear that there's an interest in making sure that those who are here from China on a visa understand that we are taking our national security seriously, and we are looking at their visas, and if everything's fine, terrific. But that will be a vetting that certainly continues and is important, clearly, to the administration. Well, people come here because this is where you start new lives, where you have every opportunity in the world. There's a reason why people come here. It's because of what the country represents. Yes, the excellence of our schools, and we want to keep it that way. We want parents who send their children, whether they be from a different country or America, to an American university, that they can recognize their child when that child returns home. And that child actually has skills and an education that can improve their future, that can get them a job, that can help facilitate the dreams that they've had, as opposed to political indoctrination or the idea of just activism or a certain political framework that they move out with. This should be an education that is literally liberal. The idea that you learn things that help facilitate your life no matter where you come from, who you are, if you're a Jew or a non-believer or an atheist or black or white or a woman. We've been through this in this country for the last 2 to 3 generations still. And our focus is making sure that everyone who does want to send their child to a school in this country can do so knowing that they're going to be safe. They're going to be able to get into a building and not held hostage in a library because it's been occupied, or that they're going to be able to actually learn things that you're paying that kind of money for. So yes, it not only should encourage more people, for those who are already here, it's certainly an important dynamic for believing and understanding that your child's going to be safe and that you're going to get something that you've paid for more than